Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are rocking with Jay Riggins, the author of the book, What a Man Really Wants to Say About Relationships, Revised and Unapologetic. And this is the official trailer of the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast, brought to you by the good folks at the Podpire Network. What is the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast, you ask? Well, thanks for asking, Jay. Just imagine being straightforward all the time with your relationship conversations. And there is nothing you can't talk about because it might seem weird, or people might not agree, or they'll hold back for the sake of being judged. We don't care about any of that in this podcast. In this podcast, we will talk about what most humans talk about behind each other's backs. On the girls' trips, the barber shops, beauty salons, at the barbecue after you done drunk some of Uncle Sterling's moonshine. And at that point, you really don't care what people think because you're no longer using your inside gossip voice anyway. Please tune into the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast every other Saturday because we will be talking about some real shit.
The following podcast is a production of the Podpire Network. Find and listen to our podcasts at thepodpirenetwork.com or wherever you enjoy your podcast. The Podpire Network, a family of inspired podcasts.
Hey, Sibel, how's it going?
Hey, buddy. Doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty excited to be back doing another episode of Harebrained Schemes.
Harebrained Schemes.
That's right. It's the podcast where we talk about some of history's most ill-conceived ventures and adventures. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but they're almost always hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And that's the Harebrained Schemes guarantee.
That's the harebrained scheme guarantee is that it'll always be ridiculous.
It will always be ridiculous. There may be some death and crime,
but it will be funny.
but it will be funny death. Funny death and funny crimes. The victims may have a slightly different opinion.
It might have sucked for them, but it'll be funny for you.
It'll be funny for you.
All right, so today we are talking about the Hatton Garden safe deposit burglary. Have you heard of this, Sibel? Had you heard about this before we decided we were going to do an episode on it?
No, I hadn't. And then you sent me like 5 textbooks worth of things to read.
Well, today we're going to do our best.
Which I could not.
Yes, today we're going to do our best to dumb it down and do a really shoddy job of compressing all of that information
There's a lot of information
into a 30-minute or so episode. What we promise today is if you learn something, we've done a bad job. The entire purpose of this episode is to teach you nothing at all. So, yeah, let's dive right in.
I'm gonna start off with the things that I found, which were really unique, and I'm gonna put them up front without any context.
Okay.
First of all, the people nicknamed Mr. Ginger, Mr. Strong, Mr. Montana, the Gent, the Tall Man, and the Old Man. Am I gonna provide context for this? No.
No. No. What do you think this is? Educational?
No. What do you think we do here? Useful things? No. No. And then the other fact is, I love the fact that on the Wikipedia, they go to incredible detail and tell you the exact power tools that were being used down to the model. Being like
DD350.
Yeah. Then drilled through the 50 centimeter, 20 inches, just so you know. Yeah. That's in the Wikipedia article. Yeah. Thick vault walls with a Hilti DT350 industrial power drill. Yeah. Can you imagine? It's just like, can you imagine that in an ad?
It's like
Are you a manly man? Can you handle the DD350? Oh, the preferred tool of bank robbers everywhere.
Turn DIY into DIY not.
The preferred power tool of the Zaddies.
The Zaddies.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this is gonna be a fun little one to explore. Just FYI, there are people in jail right now for this crime. So again, it's funny for you, maybe not so funny for them. But then again, they did do the crime. So, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I have no idea beyond those things that I mentioned.
All
so
right.
I'm just here to listen at this point.
So let's go to the Wikipedia, and this says the Hatton Garden safe deposit burglary occurred in April 2015 when an underground safe deposit facility in Hatton Garden, London, owned by Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Limited, was burgled. According to official sources, the total stolen amount was evaluated to be up to £14 million, equivalent to £17 million in 2021, of which only £4.3 million, equivalent to 5.1 million in 2021, has been recovered. So there's still quite a bit of this money.
So we're
out
still
there.
missing 12.
Pretty much.
12 million pounds remains unaccounted for
Now,
at this point in
this
time.
is pretty cool, right? If you're into that kind of thing, if you're into doing crimes, pretty cool already.
why not?
Right. But what makes it even cooler is the heist was planned and carried out by 6 elderly men who were experienced thieves, all of whom were arrested, pleaded guilty, and received prison sentences in March 2016. 4 other men were also tried.
Heist, Maurice.
Yeah.
Time for one last heist, Maurice.
Yeah. 4 other men were also tried on suspicion of involvement. 3 were found guilty and sent to prison, while the 4th was cleared. So,
Well, we know who the snitch was.
yeah. So let's go.
I'd say snitches get stitches, but in this case, he probably just got a cane and a walker.
Let's go to crimeandinvestigation.co.uk, and it says, who are these people? So we have Brian Reeder. Brian Reeder, 76, was given the name the Governor or the Master
Governor.
by his fellow gang
Master.
members. Then we got Terry Perkins. Terry, who spent his 67th birthday breaking into the Hatton Garden Vault, was involved in the 1983 Security Express robbery. So it's like, Grandpa, what would you like for your birthday, Grandpa?
Oh, my boy, don't you worry. I got a stinker plan for this one, I do.
Hey. Yeah.
He's like, don't worry about it. I'm getting myself a gift this year. Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
Oh, don't worry, little boy. I'll get you a present on my birthday this year. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So he was sentenced to 22 years in prison in 1985 for that case. Perkins escaped from prison 10 years later and was at large until 2012. He was released shortly before the Hatton Garden heist. He pled guilty along with Reeder, Jones, and Collins. Then we got John Collins. The 74-year-old has a history of robbery offenses going back over 50 years.
Oh, my God.
He served as a lookout
74
during the raid.
50 years. 24.
Yeah. So he had maybe 24 years where he resisted the urge to crime. And then after that,
24 years. It says he has a history. 24 years. So it was not, he avoided being caught.
Yeah.
For the first time until he was 24.
For the first time.
That's the only thing we can accurately.
His crimes only started getting documented after he turned 24.
That's all we can deduce.
Right. His accomplices described him as wombat thick, and his lawyer said he was petrified.
What does that mean? Dude, what does wombat thick mean? What does do we need Cardi B to interpret this for us? I need to hear this in a rap. He was wombat thick.
Wombat thick, huh?
Wombat thick. Oh my God!
Give me that wombat thick, huh? Certified free, huh? 7 days a week, huh?
All right. Anyway, his lawyer said he was petrified of being caught by the authorities. So I don't understand. If he was worried about getting caught, why did he do the crime? Anyway,
You're right. These people, criminals are usually rational.
yeah.
I think you make a good point.
Yeah. Then we got Daniel Jones, who at 60 had a history of robbery and burglary offenses dating back to his teenage years. In 1982, he was arrested for stealing nearly 100,000 pounds worth of jewelry. All right.
What are we doing?
I know. Then we have Carl Wood, who at 58 was found guilty of conspiracy to commit burglary and conspiracy to conceal, convert, or transfer criminal property. He was involved in the planning of the heist, but he pulled out on the second night when he found the fire escape closed. Police identified CCTV image of a man labeled Man F as Wood, which Wood denied. Wood suffers from Crohn's disease.
Ooh.
He was in receipt of disability benefit and nearly 10,000 pounds in debt at the time of the heist. And then we got William Lincoln, 60-year-old, found guilty of conspiracy to commit burglary and conspiracy to conceal. He left the country 2 days after the burglary took place. He was reportedly...
Smart guy.
Yeah. He was reportedly recruited by his uncle, John Collins. He was the getaway driver and was said to have had a major role in the movement of the goods after the heist. Lincoln told the judge at trial.
I respect the professionalism of a getaway man than getting away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He first got away from the crime scene.
Yeah.
Then he got away from the crime scene. Yeah. Then he got away from the country.
Yeah.
See, that's professionalism. Yeah. That's follow through.
You follow through. Exactly. Yeah. He told the judge at trial that he thought the bags he obtained from Collins contained bric-a-brac, denying all knowledge of any stolen items.
What is bric-a-brac?
It's like bits and pieces of stuff that is like, it could be valuable to you for sentimental reasons, but it's not really valuable objectively. Right. So he thought his uncle was giving him mementos, essentially. I mean, who wouldn't believe that? Right. And then, the youngest of the group, 48-year-old Hugh Doyle, plumber from Enfield. He was a good friend.
Very good.
Yeah. He was a good friend of John Collins before the crime. During the trial, Doyle maintained he had no knowledge of the plot. The judge originally accepted Doyle's not guilty plea and charges were dropped in November before he was finally convicted in January of concealing, converting, or transferring criminal property. So...
Oh my God. Yeah. The eighth man's name is Basil. Basil. Has anyone here seen Faulty Towers? Faulty Towers.
Yeah.
Basil.
Yeah. He's known only as Basil.
Basil.
He entered the vault with Danny Jones and is said to have let the men into the building via a fire exit. His face was covered with a mask or a bin bag and CCTV footage, and he has not been caught. Oh,
you mean none of these
my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basil.
So let's talk about the burglar itself. The burglars worked through the 4-day weekend of the Easter.
My favorite thing is that it was the bank holiday. It's like, we're gonna rob a safe on the bank holiday.
We'll wait until everyone at the bank
it's very on the
goes
nose.
on holiday, and then we'll do the robbery. Right.
It's how you celebrate the bank holiday. Yeah. You try to rob a bank. Yeah. It's tradition.
It's tradition. It's not my fault if they don't know this. So, the burglars worked through the 4-day weekend of the Easter bank holiday, when many of the nearby businesses, several of whom were also connected with Hatton Garden's jewelry trade, were closed. So that's good. I mean, you wouldn't want your activities to, be an inconvenience to the other businesses around. That's just, professionalism.
It's polite.
Yeah, it's
very
polite.
British. Very British. Very
right.
polite.
Right. Right.
Flagged, yes.
There was no externally visible sign of a forced entry to the premises. It was reported that the burglars had entered the premises through a lift shaft. So, for the North American listeners, that's an elevator shaft for you. Then drilled through the 50 cm thick vault walls with a Hilti DD350 industrial power drill.
I love that. First of all, is it DD or double D?
It's a double D!
I don't know, man.
They drilled in with a double D350. I'll have you know that any self-respecting burglar has on hand at any time a double D350. Hand me my double D. The police first announced that the facility had been burgled on the 7th of April, and reports based on CCTV footage released by the Daily Mirror, those snitches, before the police released it, state that the attack...
Molested? I like your pronunciation today.
Molested. Look, I've had a long day, man. That the attack on the facility commenced on Thursday, 2nd of April. So, they had quite a bit of time to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Multi-day robbery. The best kind.
I like, and you can tell they're like, they're elderly men.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be rushed. They brought a plumber along to make sure the toilet was always working, so they could take, they could take their bathroom breaks. They could have their tea, right? The kitchen was working.
Yeah.
They probably brought a kettle along.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
These guys were having their cuppas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this idea.
This was
These
was not a crime that was based on speed. This was speed was not the the central factor to success here. All right? So
God.
good thing they chose a 4-day holiday, right? So I think we're getting to your favorite part where it says the newspaper nicknamed them as Mr. Ginger, Mr. Strong, Mr. Montana, Mr. the Gent, the Tall Man, and the Old Man. Yeah, it's crazy. So the theft is so significant that it's been talked about several times. It is by far one of the most valuable thefts in modern British history. And it was so big that the investigation was assigned to the Flying Squad.
It sounds more and more like something that isn't real.
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of a 70s comic book.
Yeah.
Hey, Batman, look, it's the Flying Squad.
Hey, Flying Squad, what's going on?
Well, we're here to catch the dastardly folks who robbed the bank. Mr. Ginger, Mr. Strong, Mr. Montana, the Gent, the Tall Man, and the Old Man.
So this was assigned to the Flying Squad, a branch of the Specialist Organised and Economic Crime Command within London's Metropolitan Police Service. So yeah, it was really, really bad. Coincidentally, there was a fire, an underground fire. Coinkadinkly.
It's a coinkadink.
There was an underground, a coinkadink. There was a fire nearby, which, initially some people thought this was done to sort of divert attention away from the, safe deposit place, but it was apparently coincidental. But yeah, this story, again, we're not trying to teach you anything. We just wanted to say,
we're not trying to, we're not trying to teach you anything. We're just mentioning the tools, the timeline, the need for a plumber, the number of people, relative ages.
Unfortunately, though, there's a sad part to this. Unfortunately, this robbery did take a toll on the business, and not long after they were liquidated.
Oh.
By September 1, the company went into liquidation.
Oh, they're
So
safe.
not good.
I mean,
Not good.
It was a safe company, right? Like they made safes.
They had one job.
They had one job. Yeah. They had one job.
One job. You mean to tell me that my family heirlooms have all disappeared? And that they were taken by a bunch of geriatric zaddies? Completely unacceptable.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the episode today. Nothing valuable to tell you, man. That's it.
I mean, dude, the most valuable thing is that, like, bored old men are still very dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the story, folks. That's all, folks.
my God.
We didn't even need to do an ad break. That's it.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
Go away, everyone.
Go away. Go away now.
Go away. We're done with you.
Shoo now.
Shoo.
We're done with you. You're dismissed.
And these guys are what now? They're
Yeah.
sentenced and they're back in prison?
Some of them are in prison. I guess some are out. I don't know if any are dids, but yeah. All right, you can find Harebrained Schemes everywhere you find podcasts. We are also on Instagram as Harebrained Schemes Pod.
Harebrained Schemes.
We have episodes coming out on Friday, so please look out for those. Thank you for your love. And
Thank you
please
so
don't do
much.
crimes. And
Please
if
don't.
you do crimes, do not mention this podcast
Please don't.
at your hearing.
We do not encourage
Yeah.
you. We do not want you to
Yeah.
do these things. Please.
Yeah.
Dear God.
But if you will do the crime, you do need a DD350. Guilty. All right. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah, we got.
Sorry about that.
Bye, bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.
We just got a call from legal. I think we need to.
Yeah. Hilty DD350. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Bye, all.
And a plumber. No, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Okay. And a 4-day bank holiday. Oh, my
Oh, God.
Why do I keep
Oh,
doing
God.
this?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay.